Hello everyone, I'm Daniel Wright and we'll be talking about Kleros, a blockchain-powered dispute resolution system. Before we take an extensive look into this system, we shall briefly take an overview of the present day or the modern day dispute resolution mechanisms. We all know that disputes are basically an inevitable part of our everyday relationships and even transcends to the business world. Nowadays, there are basically two methods which we employ in resolution or in resolving disputes between individuals and businesses. These are the consensual methods and the adjudicative method. The consensual method basically has to come in form of an agreement between both parties through a negotiation or something. It has to do with mutual consent between both sides to take or to arrive at a particular decision. That's basically what the consensual process is. Then the adjudicative method has to do with court settlements or litigation settlements. This is one of the most used methods, especially in cases where both sides fail to reach an agreement out of court. The problem with adjudicative processes is that they take very much time due to court adjournments. They are very expensive due to the high cost of hiring legal advocates, and also there are probability of justice obstruction and corruption, rather cases of corruption. Since it's centralized and individuals are the helm of affairs, there are chances that justice might be obstructed due to corrupt individuals in the system. These are many more factors which makes Kleros such a wonderful and a unique solution. Another issue also is the fact that small businesses are gradually on the rise nowadays, and some of these businesses rake in just few hundreds to thousands of dollars in revenue. And basically, the kind of disputes they face are once involving very little sums of money. How then is it possible for them to employ legal proceedings to get justice, knowing that the cost of hiring legal advocates and other costs associated with court settlements will definitely supersede and outweigh their revenues? These are the challenges which Kleros aims to solve using the platform. Kleros is a blockchain-based dispute resolution system that makes use of the transparent nature of blockchain alongside a modified jury system to resolve disputes between individuals and businesses. How does Kleros achieve this? Kleros hand, sends the cases involved to jurors or juries, or a jury made up of jurors, which are certain individuals that are qualified in the said category or in the said aspect involved in this contract. When two parties enter a smart contract using Kleros, they are usually asked to provide three informations. The first is the number of jurors which will preside over the case, which will provide answers in case of a dispute. The second information is the category of the contract, which is the category which both both parties are involved in. For example, if a company, for example eBay, is trying to enter a contract with a client or a business partner, the category will be that of e-commerce, so that in case of a dispute, Kleros can easily select jurors which are well versed and they are experts in e-commerce field. The third information which will be provided by both parties is the possible outcomes, which are options which jurors can choose as their take or as their solution or as their own way of approach to the dispute. For example, the first option might be A, wins the case, the other might be B, wins the case, and the third might be 50-50. The number of possible out or the possible outcomes are stipulated in the contract by both parties, so that in case of a dispute, jurors will have to select which based on the evidence is provided. After providing this information, the smart contract is created. Therefore, in case of a dispute, any of the disputants can easily trigger this Kleros smart contract by reporting the issue, or just by the click of a button which says send to Kleros. The disputant fills a form explaining his or her claim and sends the form. Now, what Kleros does is that it sends mails, or it notifies jurors which are well versed in that field, or who are experts in that, or professionals in that field, to preside over the case. The number of jurors selected are usually those which was pre-stipulated in the contract between both parties. Now, both parties, or both disputants as the case may be, will send their evidences to back up their claims and leave the issue to the jurors to make their decisions in the case. Now, Kleros usually gives the jurors a time frame for them to compare evidences, analyze the situation, and decide on their results. After the set time frame, the jurors compare evidences and select from the number of possible outcomes, or from the possible outcomes which were previously stipulated, or which were previously agreed on by both parties on entering the contract. The outcome which is selected by most jurors usually stands and is usually a solution to the case. For better understanding of Kleros, we shall take a look at a use case. John is the owner of a company which offers laundry services, and he is in need of a logo for his company. Now, he contacts Mary, who is a freelancer on a popular site, to carry out this contract, and he hires her to carry out the work, which is the provision of a logo for his laundry company, or his dry cleaning company. So after some time, Mary sends him the image which is the logo she designed for John. But John is very much dissatisfied with Mary's work, in that the image which she sent as the logo is pixel based, which means that when scaled to a higher proportion, the image loses its value. This made John very much disappointed, and he proceeded to report the case using the Kleros smart contract which he and Mary had entered prior to agreeing the deal. Now, both parties, which is John and Mary, send their evidences to a team of jurors which are selected by the Kleros smart contract. The jurors which are selected to preside over the case are graphics designers which know very much about logo designs and image manipulation. After some time, the jurors analyzed the evidences sent, and they realized that John did not give a better description of the job he required. According to the jurors, he should have insisted on a vector-based logo and not a pixel-based, and due to the improper explanation of the contract, Mary went ahead to create a pixel-based image. So according to the jurors, basically the fault was from John, since he did not describe what he wanted very well, and the case was handed over to, the funds were transferred over to Mary. That's basically how Kleros works, and that's the approach which they take to dispute resolution. That's basically all on, or a quick rundown basically, of Kleros and how it aims to resolve disputes between businesses and individuals. But to learn more about this project, you can visit their website at www.kleros.io, and from there you can download their white paper. Thank you very much for watching.